In this special video, I'm going to show you 11 signs that you're aging much faster than normal, and the last one is going to surprise you. But before we begin, let me tell you an essential story that will help you grasp the great lesson of this video, so pay close attention because it really matters. Picture a small town perched high on a hill, where the streets smelled of ancient stone and of time standing still, and where there lived an old watchmaker known for understanding the passing of time like no one else in the world. His workshop was tiny, barely lit by a single oil lamp, and it was filled with clocks of every size: wall clocks, pocket watches, tower clocks. The curious thing was that each one showed a different hour, and yet none of them was broken. People came to him not only to repair their clocks, but to understand something deeper about life. One day a man came shuffling into the workshop. He was only 65, but he looked far older. He walked hunched over, spoke wearily, and in his eyes there was a shadow of defeat. "Master," he said, "I've come to have you fix my father's watch, but since I'm here, tell me one thing. Why do I feel that time has treated me so badly? Look at my hands, look at my back. I'm barely 65 and I feel finished." The watchmaker didn't answer right away. He took the old watch between his fingers, opened it carefully, and studied its mechanism in silence for a long while. Then he looked up and said something that man would never forget. "Time treats no one badly. Time simply passes. What ages a clock is not the years, it's the lack of care. A clock that's abandoned, that no one cleans, that no one winds, that no one looks at with affection, stops long before a clock that's tended to." And the same thing happens, exactly the same thing with people. The man fell silent, not knowing what to say, and the watchmaker went on. "I've seen clocks 200 years old keep the hour with the precision of one freshly made, and I've seen new clocks stop within a single decade. The difference was never the age, it was the care, it was the attention, it was what each owner decided to do day after day, with the mechanism placed in their keeping." That man went home thinking, and for the first time in many years, instead of blaming time, he began to ask himself what he was doing with his own. This story holds one of the most powerful truths of Stoicism. We do not control the years that pass, but we do control how we inhabit them. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should not fear death, but rather fear never having truly begun to live. And aging quickly or slowly depends to a great degree on signs that you yourself can correct. Now that we've learned this important lesson, let's look at the 11 signs that you're aging much faster than normal. Before we dive into the first one, if you find value in these videos, please subscribe and click the bell to stay updated and not miss any content. Let's begin. Number 1, you wake up tired even though you've slept. Picture this: you lay your head on the pillow, you sleep 7 or 8 hours, and when you wake up, you feel as if you hadn't rested at all. You get up with a heavy body. You drag your feet to the kitchen and you need 2 cups of coffee just to feel human again. If this sounds familiar, pay close attention, because constant tiredness is not a normal part of aging, as many believe. It's one of the first signs that your body is aging faster than it should. Chronic fatigue is like that little warning light that switches on in a car's dashboard. You can ignore it and keep driving for a while, but that light is trying to tell you something important before it's too late. In the body, that light usually means that your rest isn't restorative, that you're not recovering well during the night, or that your energy is draining away without you noticing. And here's the thing, my friends, specialists in aging know something most people overlook. Energy is one of the best indicators of a person's real age, far more reliable than the number on their ID card. A person full of vitality at 70 is, in many ways, younger than an exhausted person at 50. As Seneca said, "It's not that we have too little time, but that we waste much of it." And the same is true of energy. It's not that the body has little, it's that we squander it without realizing. So what can you do? Here are a few keys. First, look after the quality of your sleep and not just the quantity, because a dark, cool, quiet room is worth more than 2 extra hours of poor sleep. Second, move every day, even if it's just a 20-minute walk. And I know it sounds contradictory, but movement creates energy. It doesn't consume it. And third, check how much water you drink, because a great many people confuse tiredness with simple lack of hydration. Remember this: energy is not a luxury reserved for the young. It's a habit of those who choose to take care of themselves, because the body that moves grows younger, and the body that gives up grows old. Number 2, it's hard for you to get up from a chair. There's a silent test that many doctors use to estimate a person's real age, one that almost no one knows about, and it's simply how easily you rise from a chair without using your hands. It seems like something insignificant, doesn't it? Yet it conceals one of the most important truths about aging. When you start leaning on the armrests, pushing with your hands, rocking 2 or 3 times to gain momentum before you stand, your body is sending you a very clear message. You're losing strength in your legs. And the strength in your legs is, quite literally, the strength of life. There's a saying among specialists that we age from the legs upward. Think of your legs as the foundations of a house. You can have a beautiful roof and freshly painted walls, but if the foundations weaken, the whole structure begins to wobble. Strong legs keep you standing, keep you walking, keep you independent, keep you free. And here comes the best news. Muscle responds at any age. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70 or older. The human body has an astonishing capacity to grow stronger when you ask it to, with consistency. Epictetus taught that we don't control what happens to us, but we do control how we respond. And your response to the passing of time can be surrender or it can be training. You choose. So here are some simple keys. First, practice standing up from a chair without using your hands 10 times in a row every day, because it's a complete exercise disguised as an everyday gesture. Second, walk with a firm, decisive step, because your body needs to remember now and then what effort feels like. And third, make sure you eat enough protein in your meals, because muscle is built from what you eat. And if you have any doubt about your health or your diet, always consult your doctor. Legs that are trained support a dignified old age, while legs that are neglected give it up long before it's time. Number 3, you live worried and tense all the time. Now let's talk about a sign that doesn't show in the mirror, but that ages you faster than almost anything else. Constant worry. That feeling of always having a knot in your stomach, of tossing and turning at night thinking about problems, of carrying an invisible weight that never truly lets you rest. Chronic stress is like leaving a car's engine running day and night without ever switching it off. Sooner or later, the parts wear down and the engine is ruined. In the human body, that engine running without rest wears out the heart, weakens the defenses, and accelerates the deterioration of practically everything. And this is no exaggeration, because it has been confirmed again and again that sustained worry ages the body from within. The most curious thing of all is that the vast majority of the things we worry about never come to pass. We live suffering in advance over misfortunes that exist only in our imagination. And here, Stoicism is pure medicine, because Seneca said it with astonishing clarity. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that he could only control his thoughts and his actions, and that everything else, the weather, other people's opinions, the future, was completely beyond his reach, and therefore didn't deserve to rob him of his peace. So let's put this into practice. First, every time you catch yourself worrying, ask, does this depend on me? And if the answer is no, let it go consciously, release it. Second, breathe deeply for a full minute, slowly, counting to 4 as you draw the air in and to 6 as you let it out, because this calms the body immediately. And third, write down your worries on paper each night, because taking them out of your head and putting them outside strips them of an enormous amount of power. The mind at peace preserves the body, while the mind at war consumes it without mercy. Number 4, your skin and your gaze have lost their glow. Now let's talk about something that does show, but that most people interpret in completely the wrong way. I'm not referring to wrinkles, which are beautiful and tell the story of a whole life lived. I'm referring to the glow, to that special light that truly vital people have in their skin and in their eyes, no matter their age. When that light goes out, when the skin looks dull, faded, lifeless, it's usually a sign that the body is aging faster on the inside. The skin is like a mirror of what's within. It never lies. It reflects how you sleep, how much water you drink, how much you move, and above all, how much peace you carry inside you. A person who rests well, who stays hydrated, who laughs often, and who keeps their mind serene has a light that no expensive cream in the world can buy. That's why, when someone starts to notice dull skin and a tired gaze, the problem is almost never in the skin alone. It's in the lifestyle that sustains it. And here there's a beautiful Stoic truth. Real beauty is not maintained from the outside. It radiates from within. Marcus Aurelius admired the serene dignity of the elderly who cared for their character, because he said that serenity beautified the face far more than any youth could. So let's see what to do. First, drink water throughout the whole day because hydration transforms your skin in a matter of weeks. Second, look after your sleep with care, because the skin repairs itself while you sleep. And third, get out into the fresh air and move, because good circulation brings life and color to every corner of your face. Glow isn't bought in a jar. It's cultivated in the small habits of each day. Number 5, you shut yourself in and stop seeing people. Now we come to one of the quietest and at the same time most dangerous signs of all. It leaves no visible marks. It doesn't hurt in the body, but it ages you at an alarming rate. And it's isolation. When a person begins to withdraw into themselves, to turn down invitations, to spend whole days without truly speaking to anyone, their body and their mind begin to shut down much faster than normal. The human being simply wasn't designed for permanent solitude. We are creatures of bonds, of conversation, of company. A life with no one to share it with is like a plant you stop watering. It takes a while to show, but the withering is completely real. Studies on longevity confirm it over and over. The people who live longer and better are not necessarily the ones with the most money or the best genetics. They're the ones who keep strong bonds, the ones who have someone to share the table with, the ones who feel part of something larger than themselves. Seneca wrote letters to his friends with immense tenderness, because he understood that true friendship is one of the greatest treasures there is. And he said that even the wise man, though he is sufficient unto himself, still desires to have friends, not out of need, but for the pure joy of sharing existence. So let's get moving. First, call someone today whom you haven't spoken to in a long time, because a simple message is enough to start over. Second, create a fixed social routine, even a small one, a coffee each week, a phone call, a walk with company. And third, offer to help others, because serving others is one of the most powerful antidotes to loneliness. The one who isolates ages in silence, while the one who connects flourishes until the very last day. Before we move on to the 6th sign, if you're enjoying this video and feel that it's helping you, do me a favor that means a great deal. Write the word vitality down in the comments below. That single word is a commitment to yourself, a way of saying, I choose to take care of my years. Leave it in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe with the bell if you haven't already, because that helps me keep creating this content for you. Now then, let's continue, because the next 6 signs are even more important than the ones before. Number 6, your sleep has become light and irregular. Let's talk now about sleep, that great repairer of the body that the vast majority of people neglect without even realizing it. When you start sleeping badly, when you wake up several times during the night, when you toss and turn unable to fall asleep, or when you wake too early and can't get back to sleep, your body loses one of its most valuable tools for staying young. Sleeping well is like sending your body to a repair shop every night, because while you sleep, your brain clears out toxins, your muscles recover, your hormones rebalance, and your memory gets sorted and stored. Broken sleep is like a workshop that shuts its doors before finishing the job. The repairs are left half done night after night, and the deterioration slowly piles up until it shows. That's why poor quality sleep accelerates aging so much. It's not just that you feel tired the next day, it's that your body didn't get the time it needed to rebuild itself. Marcus Aurelius looked after his rhythms with discipline because he understood that the body is borrowed and must be tended with respect. And the true Stoic doesn't mistreat his instrument, he cares for it so he can live fully. So let's see what to do. First, go to bed and get up at the same time every day, even on weekends, because your body deeply loves rhythms. Second, switch off screens at least an hour before sleep, because their light deceives your brain and keeps it from preparing for rest. And third, avoid heavy meals and caffeine in the afternoon. And if your sleep has been very disturbed for a long time, mention it to your doctor, because sometimes there are causes that have a solution. Restorative sleep is the fountain of youth that's within your reach every single night. Number 7. You've stopped moving the way you used to. This sign is so common that many people don't even perceive it as a problem. Little by little, almost without noticing, you start moving less. You take the elevator instead of the stairs, you always look for the shortest route. You spend more hours sitting in front of the television, and one ordinary day you realize you've gone whole weeks without truly walking, without your body having felt the effort even once. A sedentary life is one of the most powerful accelerators of aging, and almost no one takes it seriously. The human body works by a very simple and very unforgiving rule. What isn't used is lost. It's like a suspension bridge. While people cross it, it stays firm and resilient. But the day it's abandoned, it begins to rust and collapse. Your muscles, your bones, your heart, and even your brain need movement to stay strong. And here's the most hopeful part of all. You don't need to become an athlete. You don't need a gym or expensive equipment or impossible routines. The simple act of walking every day, of moving regularly, already makes an enormous difference in the way you age. The Stoics valued the discipline of the body as much as that of the mind, because for them, the body was the chariot that carries the soul, and a neglected chariot simply doesn't get far. So let's get to work. First, walk at least 20 or 30 minutes every day, because it's the cheapest and most powerful medicine that exists on Earth. Second, stand up every hour if you spend a lot of time sitting, because those little movements add up to a great deal over the course of the day. And third, turn movement into something you truly enjoy, whether it's dancing, tending the garden, or strolling with a friend, so it becomes a lasting habit. The body in motion renews itself endlessly, while the still body rusts in silence. Number 8. You struggle to remember things and to concentrate. We come to a sign that frightens a great many people, and with good reason: brain fog. Those moments when you walk into a room and suddenly can't remember why you came. When a word sits on the tip of your tongue and you can't manage to say it. When you find it hard to concentrate, to follow the thread of a conversation, or to recall something you read just a moment ago. It's very easy to get scared by this, but it's also important to understand it well before jumping to conclusions. The mind is exactly like a muscle. If you exercise it, it stays agile and alert, and if you abandon it, it grows lazy and slow. Many of the memory difficulties people simply chalk up to age actually come from a lack of stimulation, from poor sleep, from accumulated stress, or from the isolation we mentioned earlier. And the good news is that the brain, at any age, keeps an astonishing capacity to go on learning and to form new connections. The worst thing you can do is resign yourself and stop challenging your mind, because a mind without challenges goes out, while a curious mind stays lit until the very last day of life. Seneca said that as long as we live, we must keep learning how to live. And the Stoics practiced every night the exercise of reviewing what they had lived during the day, which, besides being wisdom, is pure mental training. Let's see what you can do. First, learn something new each week. A game, a language, a recipe, a piece of history, because novelty is direct food for the brain. Second, read every day, even if it's only a few pages, because reading keeps the mind awake and active. And third, reduce stress and sleep well, because memory is consolidated precisely during rest. And if you notice significant and persistent changes in your memory, don't ignore it. Consult a health professional. The mind that's exercised stays young, while the mind that gives up goes out little by little. By the way, I'm going to be replying to all the comments on this video, so if you have a question, an experience you'd like to share, or an idea for the next video, leave it down in the comments and I'll read it with great pleasure. I truly appreciate all of you who stay with me this far. Let's continue. Number 9. You carry grudges and resentments from the past. Pay very close attention to this sign, because it's the one most people ignore, and at the same time, the one that silently robs them of the most years of life. It leaves no marks on the skin nor pain in the muscles, but it ages the soul, and along with it, the whole body, and it's resentment. Carrying old grudges, wounds that never quite heal, that endless list of everyone who ever let us down. Resentment is like drinking poison every day and expecting the other person to be the one who falls ill. The person you hate sleeps peacefully in their bed, while you carry, day and night, the weight of that bitterness eating you up inside. And that weight shows, oh does it show, in the permanent tension of the body, in the hardness of the face, in the heaviness of the heart. People who live embittered age visibly much faster than those who have learned to let go. And letting go doesn't mean that what was done to you was right. It doesn't mean forgetting or justifying anyone. It simply means freeing yourself from carrying a weight that no longer makes any sense to keep hauling. Forgiveness, deep down, is a gift you give yourself, not the other person. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best way to avenge yourself on someone who wrongs you is not to be like them. And the Stoics understood perfectly that clinging to a grudge is handing the control of our peace to the very person who hurt us most. And why give that person such power over our life? So let's see how to let go. First, identify the grudge that weighs on you most inside and write it down on paper, because putting it into words makes it visible. Second, consciously decide to release it. Not for the other person, but for yourself, and for all the years you still have left to live. And third, focus your energy on what you do love and are grateful for, because what you water in your life is what grows. The one who forgives frees up years of life, while the one who clings to resentment ages chained to their own pain. Number 10, you've lost your enthusiasm and your curiosity. There's a sign that appears in no medical test, that no machine can detect, but that completely gives away a person who is aging on the inside much faster than normal, and it's the loss of enthusiasm. When nothing excites you anymore, when the days all become the same and grey, when you stop having projects, dreams, or things to look forward to, a part of you begins to go out long before your body does. Enthusiasm is the very fuel of life. It's like the spark that fires up the engine each morning. A person with passion, no matter their age, gets up each day with a purpose, with something to do, with a clear reason to keep going. And that spark, curiously, is what keeps the body young, because it gives it a powerful reason to keep functioning with strength. On the other hand, when a person loses their reasons, when they feel they've already played their part in this world and have nothing left to do but wait, the decline accelerates in a truly surprising way. It's no coincidence that so many people fade soon after retiring or after losing what gave them meaning, because the body always ends up following the mind. The Stoics lived with a deep sense of mission until the very last day of their lives, because for them, each day was a new chance to practice virtue, to improve a little, and to contribute something to the world. Seneca insisted that it doesn't matter how long you live, but how you live each day you have left. So let's see what to do. First, find a project that truly excites you, however small it may seem. Tending a garden, learning something new, helping someone in need. Second, surround yourself with novelty and beauty. Visit places, meet people, try things you've never tried before. And third, find a concrete way to be useful to others, because the most powerful purpose of all almost always includes other people. The one who keeps their passion stays alive, while the one who loses it grows old, even while still breathing. Number 11. You've surrendered to the idea that it's already too late. And so we arrive at the deepest sign of all, the one that hides beneath many of the others, and it's giving up, believing that it's already too late, thinking things like, at my age it's not worth it anymore, I can't change now, this is just how it is, end of story. That inner surrender is perhaps what ages a human being the fastest, because it slams shut the door on everything that could rejuvenate them. The mind that gives up is like a captain who lets go of the helm in the middle of the open sea. The ship goes on floating for a while, yes, but it drifts with no course at the mercy of any storm that appears. By contrast, the person who keeps making decisions for their own well-being, who keeps choosing to take care of themselves each day, who flatly refuses to give in, stays in command of their own life all the way to the end of the road. And here's the most hopeful truth in this whole video. Listen carefully. It is never, ever too late. The body responds at any age. The mind learns at any age. Bonds are rebuilt at any age. Every one of the 10 signs we saw before can be reversed, at least in part, the very moment you decide to act. The only instant when it's truly too late is when you stop trying. Epictetus summed it up forever when he said that it's not things that disturb us, but the opinion we hold of them. And the opinion that it's already too late is almost always the most expensive lie a person can ever come to believe. So let's see how to change it. First, replace the phrase "it's too late" with the phrase "I'm still in time," because the words you say to yourself end up shaping your whole life. Second, choose a single sign from this video and start today, not tomorrow, with one small change, however tiny. And third, surround yourself with people and messages that constantly remind you of everything you're still capable of doing. The one who gives up ages in a single instant, while the one who keeps choosing to live stays young until the very last day. You've made it to the end of this video, and that already says a great deal about you. It says you're not one of those who give up. It says there's still a spark inside you that wants to take care of itself, to improve and to live well through all the years still to come. I want you to remember something. Just like that man in the old watchmaker's workshop, time treats no one badly. Time simply passes. What ages a person is not the years they turn, but the lack of care, the surrender, the resentment, the isolation, the stillness, and all of those things, absolutely all of them, are in your own hands. You don't need to be younger. You need to be more you, more active, more serene, more connected with others, more excited about life. Old age is not the end of the road. It is, for those who know how to live it with wisdom, one of the freest and most dignified stages of all of existence. Marcus Aurelius left us an idea worth its weight in gold. Focus on living well today, because the present is the only thing we truly possess. So look after your clock, wind it each day, clean it, tend to it, look at it with affection, and you'll see how, against all odds, it keeps marking the hour with strength for many, many years more. If you've made it this far, be sure to leave your mark down in the comments by writing the word vitality, so I know you're choosing to take care of your years. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications with the bell so you don't miss more content like this in the future. Share this video with someone you truly love, because it might be exactly what that person needed to hear today. And consider supporting the channel by becoming a member, where you'll also enjoy exclusive benefits. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment so you can take a look. Thank you for your time and for your support. Now click on one of these two videos to keep nourishing your mind with wisdom. A big hug, and until next time.